guys, welcome to another episode of Minutes with M and M. I'm Missa and this is Mena, and we're glad to have you back. Today we're going to be talking about the third seasons of Succession, since the new season is coming out in a few weeks, right? Or a few days.
It's this week, I think, or it might be today. We don't know when we're putting this up, but like within the next 24 to 7 days, it's coming out.
So we're so excited for season 4. Unfortunately, it's going to be the last season. So it's like a love-hate relationship with shows that end early. But
it's upsetting that they didn't tell us beforehand that it was going to be the final season, but it's okay.
So we're just going to be doing a quick review of season 1 to 3 and just letting out all our feelings, and in preparation for like the next season. We'll probably make a video about the next season when it's over as well. So
look out for our season 4 recap in 10 weeks.
Yep.
Before we start talking about like the nitty gritty details, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of what happened in the last 3 seasons in case you forgot, in case you want a refresher. This is gonna be quick, and I'm not gonna get into every specific minute detail. So please don't say in the bottom, you left out this thing. I know, I did. Okay, season 1, Kendall is supposed to be appointed the lead of Waystar Royco. Horrible name, by the way, by Logan. Logan backs out on it, almost dies. So basically the whole season is like a half-dead Logan refusing to let go of the chains of the company. Kendall tries to take over twice. First he tries with the board meeting where he wanted people to vote against, and Roman fucked him over. Then later on he tries the bear hug, which he almost gets away with until the thing that happens at the very end of the first season, which I'm going to get to really quickly. Shiv and Tom are dating. Tom proposes when Logan almost dies because he has no sense of when a right time to do something is. So we see how their relationship is kind of a mess. Shiv is cheating on him with Nate. Choices. Season ends with their marriage. So yay, they're married now, or boo. Cousin Greg meets the family and gets ingratiated into them because he's kind of a snake that no one is noticing. Roman is there trying to not be a joke, but then, he launches a rocket that explodes. So Roman. We also have Logan's wife, Marcia, who's kind of a presence there, evil stepmomming all season. And what else? Those are kind of the main big things. We obviously meet some alternate players in the game. So we meet Stewie, we meet Sandy, and they work with Kendall to try and take down Logan. Obviously, all these plans fall apart because at the end of the season, Kendall accidentally kills a waiter, and it's not good. That's the best way I can put it. Logan uses this information about his child to bring his business forward because he's the worst person ever. And that's basically season 1 of Succession. Obviously more things happen, but in case you forgot, season 1 is Kendall trying to be king. Kendall kills someone. Shit show. Okay, season 2 starts off right after season 1 ended. Kendall is depressed. Like this season, Kendall is down bad. Although he's down bad every season, poor Kendall. He's kind of just following Logan around, doing whatever he wants because he feels guilty, he feels bad. Shiv gets told by Logan that she will one day wear the crown, and so she starts her, I'm a bad bitch, I'm gonna leave politics behind, even though this is my dream to come back into the family fold, even though Logan treats me like garbage and is always jerking me back and forth. So Shiv is kind of like secretly trying to be a member of the family that's going to take over, but she's not doing a great job. They're trying to buy Pierce News because Logan's obsessed with it. Shiv and Tom's marriage is on a rocky edge because Shiv said she wanted an open relationship, and Tom's like, wow, I hate my wife. Who knows? They find out that the cruises situation is exploding, so everybody's trying to figure out, should we tell the truth? Who's gonna go down for this? Super funny season. Roman starts a horrible, secret, disgusting love affair with Gerri that we will talk about and ask why it's happening. And the season ends with them saying, oh, you know what? Kendall's gonna take the fall for this. And then he does not. Instead, he implicates Logan as being the terrible person. And for a moment, we're like, yeah, Kendall, rise up. Season 3 begins, and we immediately see that the writers do not want to give us any joy. Instead of being successful, Kendall is basically manic for the entire season. He's just doing the most embarrassing things and being like fake woke and thinking he can make things happen. Shiv is still trying to prove to her dad that she deserves everything, even though he's like, you're a girl, your vagina means you're weak. Roman fluctuates in this season between being competent, but also like being really mean for no reason. And also just having some sexy moments with some people that we're hoping we see him with in season 4. And season 3 also has us take a look at the presidential election for the Republican Party, because Logan can just make someone the president apparently, and everybody accepts it. I haven't mentioned Connor once. I know he's in the show, but I will mention now that he's running for president. He's taking it very seriously, even though no one thinks he should. And those are the general highlights of the show. Season 3, we finally have the shareholders meeting, which they've been talking about since season 1. So like no time is passing in this show at all. And the season ends with all 3 siblings deciding, you know what, fuck dad. We're not gonna live like this anymore. Your tyranny is over. And he says, fuck you back. I don't care that you're my kids. I'm gonna leave you out in the streets to drown. And the most important thing being that Tom betrayed Shiv. And we're gonna talk about how this ungrateful ass man should have gone to prison. But hey, that's seasons 1 to 3 of Succession. If you're happy with our recap, keep watching because we're gonna talk about specific details that we didn't get into already. So let's dive right in.
So let's talk about Logan as a character, as a father, as a CEO.
As the villain.
He is horrible. And I love that the first scene of the entire show is him just like pissing somewhere random on the ground. And like they show the cleaning, like the maid or the cleaning lady trying to like clean his piss. And like the next thing we see, like in the next few minutes, is him saying, I want to remain in control of this company. And I'm like, you were literally out of your mind when you woke up today. And like he had like a mini stroke thingy. So I don't know, he's just like a very, very horrible person. Like 0 redeemable qualities, like disgusting.
No, he's actually like satanic. And you know, that sounds dramatic, but he fully, like, this is a jump to the 3rd season, but when he like suspects that Kendall potentially like did something to his food, his first thing is to call his grandson Iverson to try the food for him in case there's something wrong with it. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? They kind of give us some hints that he had a bad childhood, but there's no specifics, and it's not worth it. We saw the nice house you grew up in, Logan. Like, you're just a dick.
Yeah, and like everyone's just running around him, like refusing to say their real opinions. And it's just, I think that's what makes the show, where it's like no one wants to tell Logan that this is a shit idea. No one wants to be the ones. Like everyone's trying to figure out how they're going to talk to him, and this guy is just like making horrible decisions for the company because his name is on the company. Like, why bother hiring people if you're not going to listen to them? Like, I think that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm just like, lean on the people that you have around you. And then he fires Frank.
He keeps firing Frank. He keeps firing Frank and bringing him back. He has such a big ego. And like someone makes a comment that, you know, Logan is Logan now, not 20 years ago. And maybe because we didn't see him 20 years ago when he was like this behemoth that got everything right. It's hard for me to understand why, like, it's the emperor has no clothes. Like everyone keeps just like, yeah, Logan, you want to acquire Pierce again? Great idea. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You want to own the news?
Everyone keeps coming back, and that's why he keeps behaving the way he does. Like, Frank came back. Why would you come back?
Because I think it's just impossible to imagine how ridiculous these relationships are. Like, he's known these people for 30 years. Like, yeah, he's abusive, but for 30 years.
What do you mean, yeah, he's abusive, but? Like,
3 decades is a long time to just be with someone who treats you like shit, but gives you millions of dollars all the time.
No, I refuse. Yeah, I refuse. Because, like, I personally would have cut that cord years ago. And like, maybe let me just imagine that you're paying me a shit ton of money. Like, I don't blame Frank for working with him for 30 years, but after being fired like that in such an insulting way for like a ridiculous reason, no matter what you say, I'm not gonna come back, because I can definitely get like other opportunities. Like, I have a very good resume right now. Like, I can, why? Why?
Well, because they do have a relationship. You know when?
What do you mean they have a relationship?
Like, we don't see it, but there was a time where they were really friends. Like, you know when Logan's like,
but the time is over. The time is off.
It's hard though. Plus, like, Logan has connections. Like, even if you hate him, this guy's out here making the next president or calling kings and queens. Like, you're never gonna have that much power at any other job you ever have.
Nope. If I work for the president, I will.
No, you won't, because the president is answering to Logan.
What do you mean? The president was airing Logan.
And
like,
so Logan started doing shit for him, and then all of a sudden the president was calling him like, actually, I'm so sorry, let's talk about it.
Yeah, but like, Logan, like, the whole Logan is like this emperor like vibe that everyone like carries on their shoulders, whatever. Like, it's fake. It was probably true like 20 years ago, but it's fake now. And like, the moment like things started to look shaky for them, like a lot of people started to be like, okay, maybe I should pull my money away, maybe I should like do something. So like, I don't think he has as much power as he thinks he does, but like, he has a really, really like strong hold on everyone around him. So like, people are always going to keep coming back. Because even when Kendall was trying to get Tom to come over to his side, Tom is like, I'm sorry, I've never seen Logan fail before, so I just believe that Logan is going to win.
Yeah.
But like, if he agreed to come to Kendall's side and like the kids came to Kendall's side, they would have had a chance.
Yes.
But because of that, they didn't have a chance. So they are basically reinforcing whatever it is they're telling themselves.
That's true. And that specific people, so either his kids or like people in other industries, if they work together, they can take Logan down. The issue is that no one is willing to work together, and that's Kendall's beef from the first season.
And that's Logan's doing because he was a shit father. Like, ugh.
No, but think about it. Like when Logan was pissed mad and hallucinating a cat, before they realized how crazy he was saying nonsense, and everyone was like, are you sure? But even then, that he's clearly incoherent. They're all like, well, if Logan says he must know something, oh, he got a call. Like, he is like a little king of the world that everyone believes in. And even as we're saying people are pulling out of his company, he still went to that convention and all of the Republican nominees were like, save me, save me. His power is real. His business might not always be successful, but you know, what's his name? Connor. I'm so sorry, I said what's his name. Connor was talking about, oh, I met a pope. He was very popey. Like, why were you taking your kids around to meet the Pope? You can just do that?
I just feel like his power is only real because of the things that the people around him are willing to do for him. Because if Shiv says, hey, I'm not doing your bidding anymore, like you've been pushing me back and forth, I'm just going to go stick with politics. And if Roman is like, well, you clearly don't respect me, I'm just going to jerk off in the corner, like, it's fine. And Kendall was like, I'm going to make my own company. Like, and Frank is like, I'm not coming to work for you. Like, who else is he gonna bully? Like, he probably is gonna find a few people, but like maybe not of the same like caliber of talent that he wants. So it's just, I think he has mastered like how to keep people in these like abusive situations where they keep coming back, like they have Stockholm syndrome.
Mm-hmm. No, because he's really abusive. Like moving, like even the little things like bore on the floor. I thought it was hilarious as I was watching it. But can you imagine being invited to a conference and your boss is like, get on the floor? I'm calling HR. That being said, though, there is nothing that's too low for him to do.
Yeah.
Like blackmailing your son who killed someone, or like, you know, harassing your grandkids. He has no qualms. He is willing to destroy his actual literal children, but he wants to hold on this psychotic hold he has on them. Kendall was like, please buy me out, let me leave, let me be free. And
he's like, I was just joking.
Logan's like, I'm your daddy. No. He's just horrible.
Yeah.
That being said, let's talk a little bit about Kendall, the first son. I know Connor got so mad, but let's be serious here, Connor. We're not serious about you.
See, Kendall is the only child that is halfway decent. I don't even know what happened and how the trajectory of his life became so different from everyone else, but like the struggles that he has are actually real struggles, because everyone's saying Kendall's not fit to run the company because like he's not cutthroat. Because he's not a horrible person. Like, he's not willing to like blackmail people and string them along and like cut them off. He's not willing to do all that. He just wants to run a decent business. And that alone is the reason why they're like, okay, no. And then because of that, because of being the only one who kind of like has a conscience and being like ostracized for it, he probably like, you know, had like developed some bad habits, like got into drugs and a bunch of things. So like every now and then they spit that in his face, like, oh, drug addict, you know, all of that.
Can we talk about that real quick? So yeah, he's an addict, but they all do drugs. He's the only one that has addiction. So my assumption here is that they were all doing drugs together, and Kendall just, you know, developed an addiction. So but when we see Roman doing coke or Shiv is on ecstasy, no one says anything, but they're all doing drugs. But no, Kendall is not only is he the only one who has some moral fiber that he stands behind, even though Shiv pretends to as well. He also has vision. Literally the whole first season, and even like in season 3, Kendall has good ideas. No one is just listening to him. And when he gets mad in season 3 and he's like, oh, Gojo was my idea, and they're kind of laughing in his face, I would fight my brothers physically. Because we could have gotten rid of Dad in season 1, like I asked you to, we could have run this, but you guys were all, oh no, Daddy is king. No, you're betraying him. And now
I came back to you. You had a second chance. I came back to you in season 3 to say, okay guys, let's do this again. And you're like, no, Daddy, I'm here for Daddy. I'm like, okay.
And it's not even like Logan is just like kind of terrible. Kendall's there like, we murdered and raped women. It's bad. Let's deal with it. And she was like, did we know that?
Roman is like, it's not that bad. Like, maybe we can. I'm like, wow. It's like, it's so frustrating.
It really is. I also think that Kendall gets the worst shit from his family members. So outside of them like not listening to him when they should, the things that they've done to him are like really bad. Like in season 1, Logan is the one who dropped the news that he was back on drugs on the news that led him to actually getting back on drugs. Shiv wrote that open-ed letter where she's talking about how he's, you know, just this mess of a person. Roman was laughing about people harassing his daughter and the nanny. Like, they do actual criminal activities to him. And like, yeah, they're all kind of mean to each other and they make all these comments, but they're actually trying to destroy Kendall's life. And it's so weird.
And I think it's just because they are jealous of him. Like, Roman is extremely jealous of Kendall because Roman is just useless. No matter what he tries to do, he just can't seem to get anything right. Like, he's just that dumb rich kid that just wants to like, but then he needs to embrace it, right? Like, just embrace that. I'm like, la 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 la, just say, Dad, I'm out. Like, be like Connor, just like go do your own thing. Every now and then he's like, but Daddy, what position can I? There was a time he actually put his name forward for the CEO. I actually chuckled because I'm like,
you know when he said, "Oh, I'm ready for it," he said, "Well, if you don't think I'm ready, well, maybe Gerri. What are you doing?"
Exactly. And so like, I feel like he's a little bit jealous of Kendall, and like it just comes out in such a mean way. And then Shiv is probably jealous that Kendall has some sort of moral compass, and she's pretending to, you know, be this person who has values, but not really.
It's also frustrating because Kendall, to me, well, Connor has this as well, but Connor, let's be clear, is not a main character. But Kendall's the firstborn son. Kendall is a good brother to his siblings, like, and you see it in little moments, like, you know, when Logan slaps Roman, it's Kendall that's immediately like, don't you dare touch him, like, he doesn't hesitate, and that's like in the season that he's afraid of and following everything that Logan does, but even then he's like, don't hit my brother. And when he volunteers his sacrifice, this is the thing, they have little moments of siblingness that I love. So when he's like, yeah, I'll take the blame, Roman is actually the only one that's like, no, that's not right, we shouldn't do it. Everyone else is quiet.
Ken? Come on, really? Dad, no. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
And like, you know, Logan announces Roman to be the CEO, and you see Kendall has this little smile, like, oh, my little brother is about to have a chance. Like,
Well, yeah. Yeah, Dad, that's really exciting.
No, Rom, it's great.
Kendall loves his siblings. For his birthday, all he wanted was for them to be there, and he didn't get upset until he realized that they were there for like ulterior motives. He wants like a healthy, loving family that's working together to take down the Satan that is their dad.
Asking for too much.
Is
I
he?
guess he's asking for too much. He probably is in that kind, the kind of family that he unfortunately got stuck with. He should have remained with his mom, maybe.
No, their mom is. We're gonna talk about it. Their mom is horrible. The two, honestly, they had no chance. Look at their parents.
Yeah. Like, remember when Kendall wanted to confess to his mom, and his mom was like, maybe tell me tomorrow morning, and then the next morning she's just like, she just leaves a letter like, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Like, she literally ran away because she didn't want to have any like sort of meaningful conversation with Kendall.
And it's so sad because you can see that outside of his family, Kendall had the potential to have like an okay life. Like, Rava is a great ex-wife, by the way. She has gone above and beyond. She let him set up camp in her house and bring all his people and his current girlfriend. Like, they get along very well considering some of the things that Kendall says. You know, he has kids that love him. Even with Stewie, like in season 1, even after Kendall betrays him, Stewie's like, look, I'm a person, I'm your friend. Tell me what happened so we can, like, there are people outside his circle of horribleness that are like, step outside, have a good life. Even Naomi, who's literally on drugs, is like, walk away from this company. Like, people see the value in Kendall and say, get away from this. But he keeps getting sucked back in because literally every time he tries to leave, someone is knocking at his door. It's either Logan or it's Shiv or it's someone like, oh, it's the company, or oh, we need to do this. We're literally at war and they're calling him and saying, no, you actually have to be on our side for the shareholders meeting. Bro, I don't like y'all. I want to be free.
Exactly.
Kendall is my king. He deserves better. Like, rewatching the show, I was just like, wow, look at my victim. Like, you've done very little wrong. Okay, he did kill someone. We should probably just say it's not good to kill people. Don't drive while you're high. But as Roman said, it sounds like the kid killed himself. Like, why did you turn the wheel into the river? And Kendall tried to go back and find him. What can I do? You have died. It's too late.
Kendall was the one driving though.
Yeah, but the kid is the one who turned the wheel because something was on the road. So
not you analyzing it. Okay, Sherlock Holmes.
I just don't think we should blame him. And he felt bad. He gave the guy's family money. You know, he didn't want someone to die. And the real person to blame is Logan for sending him out of the wedding in the first place. If he hadn't done that, he wouldn't have been able to die. But that's a little about Kendall. Who do you want to talk about next? Shiv or Roman?
I'm gonna leave Shiv last. I was like, once I talk about Shiv, I'm gonna go into Tom.
Oh God.
So let's talk about Roman.
Roman.
What the fuck are you doing with Gerri? Let's start there. Like,
okay, wait, before I just have a question. Can we blame Roman for the sexual issues that he clearly has?
yes, I will blame him.
Because I think we need to look to Logan. Because there's something wrong with Roman. And, like, he doesn't have sex with people. Like,
Yeah.
So
he has
he's,
a humiliation kink.
but, like, he's incapable. Even when, like, he had, with his first girlfriend in season 1, where he had this thing where he wanted her to pretend to be dead.
Yeah.
And then she
Ew.
was moving, and he was like, you're ruining it because you're moving. Something inside him is broken. He's also clearly a little bit queer. Like, he clearly likes boys a little bit. And I think that's it. I honestly think he's probably gay or bisexual. And he's like, he was showing signs when he was younger. And Logan was like,
Are
not
you homosexual?
Exactly. He was like, absolutely not. And that's why he's the way he is. Because his stuff with other people, but even the sexual comments he makes about his dad and his mom and his sister.
He is fucked up.
There's
Like, I don't think there's a way to repair that.
Like, he's just too far gone.
Yeah, unfortunately. Because, like, even when Gerri was, like, acting CEO and she was like, stop sending me dick pics. He's like, what? What pics? Just joking. And then he sends a dick pic mistakenly to Logan. And that just ruins Logan's entire day. Like, he actually gets up and leaves the room. He's like, what the fuck? Wow.
No, okay, first of all, if I was Gerri, I'd physically beat up Roman. I give you one instruction. Stop setting. Now, like, we have the fact that Logan knows that we were doing something shady and he was gonna fire her. Like,
yeah, he was gonna. That's the annoying thing. Logan is so misogynistic. He's like so horrible to women. He looked at that situation and he's like, Roman, you did a bad thing, but Gerri, you received it and the text went through. So,
like, Gerri that has
fired.
been here for 30 years that keeps saving your ass. You want to fire her because Roman, who we all know is a sick pervert, is being a sick pervert. But look, are you a sicko is one of the greatest
are
lines.
you a sicko?
Honestly, like, if I was removing the way that Logan is terrible, what would you even do in that situation? Let's say your son accidentally sends you a picture of his dick that he was aiming to send to your age mate coworker. How do I even respond to this?
I don't think there's any way to respond to that as like a normal person.
So yeah, Roman has weird sex stuff. You know, he said he can't pee in front of other men. Like, he has a lot of penis situation that needs to be dealt with. And I also blame his siblings for making jokes about, you want to fuck mom. You're making him worse. But let's take a step away from his weird sexual energy and talking to how he's unfit to be leader of this company.
Of anything.
But I don't blame him. I think the thing with Roman is one of the very clear examples you can see every way that his environment made him what he is.
Fair.
Because sometimes he has moments of minor intelligence, but like his lack of belief in himself, the fact that he feels like he has to please his dad, he's like, he hates conflict within his family, but he's always doing things to blow shit up. It's like, you don't even know how to be.
Yeah.
Because, like, even the girls he's with, they're actually so open. I mean, to be fair, if I was dating a billionaire, I'd be like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But they're always like, no, it's okay if you, like, just admit you don't want to have sex with me. And he's like, how dare you say these words to me? I'm a normal, virile man. Like, he's just a lot. And I feel bad for him because Logan weaponizes the love for his children. He does it all the time. He'll be like, oh, you're my favorite now. Or, you know, let's go on meetings together. Let's spend time together. Or I'm proud of you. Or I believe in you. And suddenly you start to do all these things because you want that love from Logan.
Yeah.
And Roman and Shiv to a degree, but in a different way. But those two are really, really big on, I want daddy to love me.
Yep.
And I feel bad for Roman because there's a world where he's still kind of fucked up, but significantly better. Because again, he's not an idiot. Like, he has minor moments where he says things that make sense. I think after the...
Did you hear the sentence you just said?
No, stop.
He has minor moments where he said, you sound like you're talking about someone who's like almost gone. Like, he has minor moments where he's lucid and then, you know...
No, because after the hostage situation, that one day he was like fantastic. He was like, no bullshit. He was like, this is what I can read on the situation. This is this, and he's good with people.
Yeah,
in the universe. I don't know why people like him. I would hate him in real life, but like,
people like things that are like that make them feel like they are not like the dirtiest, horrible people in the world. Like, by the time you meet someone like Roman, like, there's no way Roman wouldn't make you feel good about yourself.
That's hilarious, and that's the best explanation I've heard about why people like him, because he's awful. But like, he could be okay if he was away from this, because like, he keeps fighting and saying, why do you want to be CEO, Roman? Do you even really want?
Not.
He doesn't. He just thinks he does, and he's competing with his siblings. But like, You keep throwing sand in things. You don't want to be here. Just go be happy somewhere else instead of whatever this is. I don't know. Roman is funny though. He is absolutely the funniest character on the show. And I will tolerate the things about him that drive me crazy because I'm almost never not laughing at the things that he says. He's so funny. Oh my gosh. Shiv.
Siobhan.
Okay, but imagine you were raised by Logan, who hates women. Let's just be clear. He's like misogyny. And then you're the last kid. You have 3 older brothers who you see how he treats, but still treats better than you. And then he's just kind of like, yeah, you're kind of worthless because you're a girl, but you're smart. Like, you're smarter than Connor. You're smarter than Roman. You're probably as smart, if not potentially actually smarter than Kendall. But you've just been overlooked your entire life because you're a girl. And then he'll not be doing Pinky, my baby girl. But you know, he kind of just despises you for being female.
Yeah. It's a fucked up way of growing up, to be honest, especially because she's the only girl. And then she didn't grow up around her mom. Who,
I don't know if it would have been better or worse for her to grow up around her mom. Because her mom has another special kind of hate towards Shiv because Shiv is her daughter too.
Yeah, basically.
She just... It's a lose-lose situation. And you know what? To be fair, she actually tried. Like, she realized that she wasn't getting a shot for the top seat. She went into politics. She was doing well in politics. She was representing Gil. And then Logan whispers in her ear, it should always have been you. Come back. And like, you know, daddy and mommy, parent issues, they are so hard to work through. Because literally, when he told her that, you see how excited she is. She's like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. Dad thinks I can do it. He's going to give it to me. And then she torpedoes her political career that she's been working at for years because Logan said, you know, there's a plan in motion.
A 3-year plan, by the way. Like, a 3-year plan.
It's and it gets delusional. Like, you've seen what Logan did to Kendall. Is he really going to give you? But just for the chance, for the hope, for the belief that you're gonna get this opportunity, these kids will jump the moment Logan says jump. And so even though she did the right thing, she did try, to a degree, she did try and leave the company, but then she also married someone who's clearly trying to climb the ladder within the company. So Shiv, you didn't even make the best choices there.
Yeah, how did Tom even... I feel like Tom stalked her.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get into how Tom is the worst. There are people who like to talk shit about Shiv, and I'm gonna just tell you now, it's misogyny. She is not worse than Roman. Look, she just, if you think Roman is cute, cute, and you're like, oh my god, Shiv is so terrible, look inwards. Ask yourself why. Because Shiv is smart. Shiv keeps, like, suggesting things, and Logan just does not listen. And he doesn't listen to anyone, but he's so dismissive to her particularly.
He's horrible to her. And I think what really frustrates me is that I see the potential in her. Like, she can actually have a legitimate career. And every time Logan shows his ass, she's like, okay, fuck this. I'm gonna go do something with you. Like, you're up on it, like, I'm done. And then, oh, family's in a crisis. Shiv, come and help us. She flies down, only to be dismissed and overlooked. And Roman will say some stupid shit like, yeah, fuck them, man. Let them come to us. And then, like, Logan will be like, yes, that's what we're gonna. And then he does that. He makes Shiv fly all the way to meet and say her ideas, only for him to say, good, thank you, but we're gonna go with what my idiot Roman son just said. And then whenever they need a woman to, they will call Gerri and Shiv and say, oh, go be women in front of them so they see that we don't hate women. And like, I just want to point out, it's not even fair to criticize Shiv for failing in the company, because while the boys were raised, they were groomed to be working in the company. They were invited to meetings. They were taught these things. Shiv never got that insight her entire life. So yeah, she's a couple of steps behind because you didn't give her the opportunity. And then they intentionally blocked her from like actually having meetings. Yeah. Like they didn't let her know what was really going on. So like even if she wanted to ramp up on her own, it was just like you're not giving her the chance. Yeah. And it's so shitty because then they throw it. They're like, oh, you don't know how the company works. You have no experience. You're an outsider. That's because you did that. Like, how am I supposed to? No, it's very much. This is just years of abuse. No, it actually is. That being said, Shiv and Tom's relationship. Let me just start from I am Team Shiv all the way. The only thing that she did that I think was kind of bad was hooking up with Nate, you know, before her wedding. Okay, but you know what I think is worse? What? Telling Tom you want an open marriage on the night of the wedding. Okay, so that was shady, but Tom could have said no. They just think that Tom acts like he has no control. That's true. Tom is like, I want that money. Look, and then he was like salty about it for months, and then he was like, oh, you should have, okay, well, you should have said it. Like, even if you didn't say it that night, okay, but that was just cutthroat. That was just horrible. Like, and then your affair, I mean, who's that? The affair partner. Yeah, the partner is downstairs right now.
the person that Tom did the little jack off situation at Tabitha that he did at the bachelor party.
The bachelor party.
I beg, was she not? She was at the party too. This is the thing.
But she was a Roman.
Does that make it better? Does that not make it worse? Because what are you doing? It gives, you're upset about stuff, you should talk about it, but Shiv says horrible things, but at least she says it. That's the thing I'll give her. Like, I have said it. It's now your responsibility as a grown man to put your feelings into words instead of harboring resentment towards me. Because other than that, Shiv hasn't actually done anything to Tom. Like, she's kind of mean and she makes comments, but you know what? She was always like that. You met her, she was like that, and then you proposed to her when her dad was dying because you were trying to save yourself and the family.
I think Shiv actually hates Tom because there was a time they were trying to have sex.
Oh, when she said, "I don't love you"?
She was like, "I don't love you." No, you love me, but I don't love you. And that was her dirty talk. And Tom was just like, okay, well, this is the situation that I'm in. And like, it's so, because shady people just gravitate towards each other. That's why Tom and Greg are together. Like, that's why they're like this.
Tom Greg, hashtag. Look, I just think that Greg likes to feel like he's, Tom likes to feel like he's a victim, but he's really not. Like, Shiv might not love him like a normal. You know when she said, "I love you, but I don't love you"? I don't even think she was joking. I don't think she knows how to love
No, she didn't say that. She said, "No, she did. You love me, but I don't love you."
No, she did. And then the next day, then he was like, "Oh, you say you don't love me?" She was like, "Yeah, but you know, it was dirty talk. I love you, but I don't love you." And then he's like, "Yeah, I get it." And like, that wasn't a thing she had said for the first time. So you know she's like this. You just want to be near the Roy family, because when Logan offered Shiv the opportunity to be the head, the first thing that our good brother in the Lord, Tom, says is, "Oh, I thought we were trying to do that for me." Like, your wife is telling you that her horrible, abusive father is giving her an opportunity, and the first thing you think is, "Oh, goddamn, now I'm not gonna get this job." Because you married, let's just be clear, Tom married Shiv to get close to Logan. He married Shiv so he can rise up in that ladder. People keep saying he loves her. No, he doesn't. And if he loves her, he would have accepted this already, because Shiv has not fundamentally changed. Like, it's not like she was really, really nice and then they got married and she became like this. We saw very clearly what their relationship dynamic was. So Tom saw how things were. And that's why every time there's an event with Logan, he's like, "Oh, should I give him this present? Should I do this for him? Should I go whisper in his ear? Should I go do this and that?" Like, sir, you're obsessed with my dad. Get over it.
You volunteered yourself to be the fall guy, and then you're coming to complain to me about how, oh, you're going to prison and you're looking up pictures. Like, fuck you. Like, please leave me alone.
Like, you did it all by yourself. And just because you wanted me to say, "No, don't do this," I said, "No, don't do it." And then I said, if you want to do it, maybe it can be worth it, but no, don't do it. And then you still did it. It's not my fault that you want everyone to be like, "Wow, we like Tom so much." We don't like you. We think you're weird. My dad should have said that you were a lesser man than me, that you're not worthy of my love. He will never respect you. And now you sold me down the river. No, I hate Tom so much.
I do. He's horrible. Like, he was using that, like, employee as a footrest.
The way he treats Greg is genuinely abusive. And I know everybody's like, "Oh, Tom, Greg, they're friends." But we've seen Greg complain on multiple occasions. He secretly went to Logan and was like, "Can I get transferred to another department because there's an abusive atmosphere?" I don't know what kind of weird trauma bond situation, and it is trauma bonding in the sense that Tom is the abuser and Greg is bonding to his abuser. It's trauma bonding. Like, I don't know why we think Tom is okay. It's because, you know what? It's because in the family, he's the lowest person there. So it's easy to think, oh, but actually, when he's around lesser people, he treats them like dirt. When he has the opportunity to wield his power, he treats people terribly. So anything that Shiv does to him, I'm glad. He's a white cis man who's living in this enjoyable little tower of power. He's like, "Oh, this Nazi isn't really a Nazi." Like, "Oh yeah, he named his dog after Hitler's dog, but it's not that bad." Like, no, you're a terrible person.
Like, you're having a picnic on a private island, which you got to on a yacht, and you're like, "Boo, woe is me. You said you wanted an open relationship. I don't like that." Like, okay,
so now what do you want me to do? I will say he has some like sentences or some quotes that are fire. That whole, sometimes I wonder if the sad I'd be without you would be less than the sad I am with you.
I love that. I love that. I was like, yes, go on,
speak your truth.
We're clearly on serious, as you can see.
Yeah, but like, I don't see him as a victim. Like, he was excited at the prospect of hooking up with other people too. It's just that he kept getting his feelings about it. And I think the thing he got really mad at was when Shiv was like not defending him for being the scapegoat. But what he didn't know is that before that conversation, Shiv had already talked to Logan and had put like Kendall on the death block. And after that conversation, Shiv was like, Logan was like, who do you pick? And she was like, well, just not Tom. Like, Shiv is going back to bat for you. You might not be seeing it.
Yeah.
But Shiv doesn't actually let you go down the river. And she keeps thinking she's this terrible person. Even before they got married, I think in season 1, when he found out about cruises and somebody told Gerri, and Gerri was like, you better keep your mouth shut. You're the sin cake eater. And then, he asks Greg, did you do it? And Greg was like, no. And then he just assumes it was definitely Shiv, but it was Greg. Shiv hasn't actually done anything to me.
And he just met Greg.
Do you get? So you already did trust your wife. You like this was before they were married, and you still chose to marry Hal. Nobody did not.
Not the ear thing.
No, because like he's acting like, oh God, Shiv, I thought you were this person and you're not. Like no, like even them arguing about kids. Did you ever once have a conversation before you got married about kids? Now you're acting like she's robbed you of something, but can you imagine? I don't like him.
I don't. Yeah.
Greg.
You know what? Greg is the second funniest person to me from Roman. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's just hilarious. Because, like, you can see that he's trying to climb up the ladder, but he just has no idea what he's doing. So he's just like, okay, I'm in this awkward situation now. I have to beg, I have to grovel. Like, what do I do? Everyone here is crazy, but like, who seems like the least crazy that I can like attach to? And like, you can just see he's like the wheels in his head like turning all the time. And I'm like, because like when Tom was burning the evidence and Greg was recording, like, oh, so we're burning this evidence right now, the evidence related to the cruise. Tom is like, why are you saying that?
But you know what? Anytime Greg does anything to Tom, I'm on his side because Tom is just like, go risk your life and go and commit a crime.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's even saying, oh, take $1 million after you do it. You're just sending me to the chopping block. I like it when Greg fucks over Tom.
Yeah.
But it annoys me when he does it with everyone else. Like, when Kendall was like, stop reaching on your family, I was on Kendall's side. You're just here because you know we have money.
Yep.
You've lived your whole life with your mom on the other side of the family. But now that we've been inviting you have your favorite champagne. You're buying $40,000 watch. Suddenly, you think you're among us. Please respect yourself.
Oh my God, nah, he's hilarious.
But he's a snake. Like, Greg is a snake.
Yeah.
And I feel like nobody is really paying attention to that. I think the only people who kind of maybe noticed it are actually Logan, Kendall, and Tom, who have all seen, he do be doing some snake shit.
Like at the end of season 3, I think he gets to head like the cruise line company. Like he takes over Tom's job or something like that. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know what he got, but Tom did say you're gonna have a high position. Don't worry. He made that analogy.
Not even Tom. I think it was Logan who offered it to him because he finally came to Logan's side. He was, he was hanging with Kendall for a while, and then like. He lost his inheritance from his
I think it was
granddad.
parks, not cruises. Wait, he shot?
Yeah, he's gonna be the head of something. And Tom was so jealous and Tom was so upset. Like, I thought we're in this together. And he's like, bro, I'm rising up. Like, what's going on?
I'm also like, Greg annoys me because he has moments of like humanity. He's like, oh, we shouldn't let Connor be president. Or he's like, yeah.
That's not humanity.
Okay,
that's a low bar.
I'm screaming. Or like, he was against ATN. I mean, he has no spine.
Yeah.
But he'll be like, oh, ATN is bad. They do this, but then he'll still like go ahead with Tom because he wants to get money from them. He's basically like mini Tom, but like maybe better, but somehow worse. And that's his whole thing. Because now you want to sue
I just remembered that. That's what I said. I started chuckling. I just remembered that I wanted to sue.
Like, you're a bad person because your grandpa doesn't want to give you money. Shout out to Ewan, by the way. Ewan is actually very reasonable. Like, he's a bit high on his horse, but he's consistent and he has way better morals than the rest of the family. Which brings me back to, why is Logan the way he is? You guys were raised together.
Thank you so much. Maybe he was the only one that was abused. I don't know
because they have a couple of comments where they're like, oh, remember how our childhood was? Oh, I didn't go into the house. So I don't know if their uncle used to beat them. I don't know. Their sister died, their mom died. I don't know. A lot of things were going on, but it made Ewan like fundamentally like, oh, I want the world to be a better place and super militant about it. And it made Logan go, I'm going to own the world because I should own everything. It's such a weird dichotomy.
Yeah.
Especially because like you kind of see with Greg's mom that she's kind of like a normal person. Like she's like, yeah, go meet your uncle for money, but she's nothing crazy. And I guess Greg was normal before he joined these people.
Yeah.
So like the two halves of the family are just super, super different. And there's no explanation for why.
Yeah.
Look. A couple of side characters to get into. I've always been against Marcia because she gives me bad vibes. I like that she's a boss. Like, I like that she's like clearly looking out for herself. She's looking out for herself and her kids because she's a good parent, unlike everyone else on the show.
Yeah.
But she is awful. Like, very...
Really? I didn't mind Marcia because like I'm married to your father, like deal with it. And also like I love that she stands her ground. Like if Logan does something to piss her off, she's not gonna like cower like everyone else around him. She's just gonna be like, I know you invited me to this thing, but I'm not just gonna come because like this thing you're doing is a joke. And Logan is like, so you're not coming? Okay, you can like. So I feel like she does like. Logan actually trusts her a little bit, but like he plays with her, and I think she sees that like a lot more for what it is. Because I think Logan does the same thing he does to Shiv, he does to Marcia in like a way, because he just generally doesn't respect women. Yeah. But Marcia doesn't really sit there and take it. She's just like, no, I'm just not gonna show up. Or like she makes her own decisions for herself. So I respect that. That doesn't mean she's like a great person, but I respect that.
I respect that. So Marcia's interactions with Logan, I'm here for it. In season 3, where he was like, we have to present a united front. She said, here are my lawyers, here are my terms. You need to give my children this and that. I was here for that. It's how she treats the kids that annoys me, because it's what you're saying. She knows that Logan is kind of shitty. So why are you still siding with him against the kids? You guys should all be in, like, when Logan...
The kids are shitty too.
Well, look, when Logan was half dead and like she wouldn't let any of the kids see him, and Shiv was like, this was before Shiv got into family, so she was really just like, is my dad dead? Like, that's really cruel to do to someone's child. It feels like she likes messing with the kids. Like, she genuinely does not like them.
She does like messing, but like if Logan is whispering nonsense about all his kids to you, then I guess it's just her feeling like, okay, these kids are all useless. Like, for all you know, Logan was even the one who said, please don't let those people come and see me.
I'm screaming. It's very possible. Marcia just gives me bad vibes. I like that she's, a boss of her own life, but bad vibes. That being said, Logan, we talked about his business acumen, but what is his problem? That whole thing he had where he had a semi-relationship with Rhea and, almost had her be the CEO for a moment. Now he's sleeping with Carrie, his assistant.
I love that Rhea thinks she has morals. Because she's like, this is too much. They are victims. I have to talk to victims. No, I'm out. What do you think this was? What do you think this was?
And like, Rhea is like flaky as hell. Everything that happened with the Pierces in season 2, the fact that she was working with Logan against the family of the company that she's the CEO of is mad shady.
Very shady.
Especially because like they were treating her like she was family.
Yeah.
And they're clearly much better family than the Roys.
I don't understand. Like, how can you be attracted to someone so despicable? Like, he's not like...
Apparently, he's charismatic. I think this is the issue. People like Logan. Like, outside people that don't know his madness. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Because I have no answer for you. Because Rhea was like attracted to this man. And
it's money. It's probably money, and it's probably like patriarchy and misogyny. Like, I don't know, the power. I was like, ooh, shivers.
I'm screaming. No, it was ridiculous.
And like the company wasn't doing well. Like the Pierce company, they were like kind of in debt. And like, so maybe she was like, this is someone who has money. But then
it's just funny because every season, Logan's like, you know what we should do? We should buy Pierce News. And the kids are like, please. And then you have Gerri and Frank like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. No, it's terrible. So like, of all the like business situations that have happened, is there anyone that you were on Logan's side? So like when Kendall wanted to take over, when Stewie and Sandy wanted to take over, the Gojo idea, like, is there anything that you're ever like, Logan is right?
No.
I agree.
No.
I am never on Logan's side.
Sometimes I'm on Kendall's side.
Yeah.
But I'm never on like Logan's side. I just don't see him making any sound business decisions. He's just like, everything he does is an ego trip.
Yep. And he's stuck in the past and unwilling to move forward because he's so obsessed with like the news. And they're like, tech is the way forward. And he's like, I hate tech. Which is why in the final episode, it's so shocking that he's like, yeah, I'm selling my company to a tech company. And they're like, are you on crack? No, because why is he like this? Like, okay, so now you've cut off your kids, who, to be clear, we knew you didn't really love, but I like how Roman asked, like, are you just gonna put your billions on more of your billions? What does this do for you? And he absolutely just did this despite his children. Yeah. Like, Roman sent a dick pic and he was like, okay, you're canceled. Kendall is running around the streets. He blocked Kendall's number. That is so cold. He was like, Kendall, you're canceled. I don't even feel like Shiv did anything.
Yeah, she's
just like, you're a woman. And that was all it took for him to be like, well, and obviously Connor was never in consideration, let's be clear here. So he just decided, since I'm not giving it to any of my 3 kids, I'm gonna sell the company. Fuck them.
Yeah. So that's kind of how the 3rd season ended. And
let's talk about Connor really quickly because we really didn't talk about. Quick thing, if there's.
I'm so sorry, Connor. I know they do this to you on the show. I'm so sorry that I wanted to wrap up because I totally forgot that we didn't talk about you.
I'm dead. Look, Connor My only thing, the one thing I want to know in season 4 is what happened with his mom. They keep saying like, oh, that thing with your mom, or oh, they're writing. What did Logan kill his mom?
I don't know. I hope we find out in like this season.
Because he even says that, oh, I didn't see my dad for 3 years. Like, what happened to Connor? But
also, I just feel like, why do bad things happen, or why do good things happen to bad people? I don't know how to frame this, but what's the name of his Willa? She has cashed out with Connor. I'm telling you. Like, he's funding her play. He doesn't even have enough money for his campaign. He was begging Logan for money. It's like just a small $100 million. Living life with this guy, and I'm sure anything like she asks of him, he does. How do people find people? Like, where do you go to? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, her job is very hard. Like, she has, like, when he's saying all these delusional things about, oh, I'm gonna be president, I have to be first lady.
He just has to smile and nod.
No, because she's like, yeah, I support you. And she has to publicly go out and be attached to him.
Yeah, but like, maybe all the money he's putting into her place, half of it is going into her account. Say, when you reach your limit, then you can say, okay, goodbye. But you have the money in your account.
God, honestly, I feel bad for Connor because clearly Logan affected him in a very different way from the others, which is why he's all like, oh, I'm not part of the company, whatever. But he's genuinely a reprehensible person. Like, his politics are awful. Talking about, I don't want to pay tax, and I'm aligning myself with this. Him and Roman, like, Roman is funny, but a lot of the things Roman agrees with or aligns with, and you're laughing with a fascist who's like, oh, we shouldn't race mix, and no, all of this is like horrible. And I like that episode around politics where Shiv is kind of like, oh my god, I have aligned myself with these people with no morals.
No, but is Shiv surprised? I'm wondering what was Shiv's what was the outcome she was expecting?
She wanted to push her Republican candidate that was kind of more center leaning.
Oh, okay. I thought she was pushing someone who was not Republican, because like there was just no.
No, he was Republican.
Okay.
I mean,
like, what was the outcome?
She identifies as liberal.
Okay.
But they had a Republican convention. But the thing is, this is what I mean. None of the kids stand up to Logan. Like, at the end of that episode, Logan's like, oh, let's take a photograph together. And everyone's like, I'm not going to take a photograph. And he's like, are you part of this family or not? So she goes to go stand in the photograph, and she's like, oh, I'm not standing next to him. So Logan's like, oh, you won. But like, you did not win.
You're in the photograph.
You're in the photograph. You are basically endorsing this Nazi man to run for president. Like, your values are meaningless.
Yeah.
And she's the only one there that had a real problem with it, by the way.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm like, everybody's like, Tom is fine with the Nazi Republican being the president. He thinks it's fine. It's not affecting him. Mm-hmm. So Connor, no matter how much I'm like, oh, Connor is scary because, yeah, he's running for president and he's silly, but people become the president sometimes when nobody sees it coming.
Trump.
Look, he's like, I'm only polling at 1% and it's 4 million people. But like, the fact that even 4 million people want to vote for him, what does that mean?
Crazy.
It's just, So Connor, I'm okay with him when he's living on his ranch and he's not doing anything. Now that he wants to be president, it's scaring me. I do appreciate the fact that for the whole of season 3, he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna blackmail dad if he doesn't give me money. I'm like, you know what? Good for you, Con. It's all just crazy. Are there any other characters? I mean, I like Gerri. I'm rooting for Gerri. I like that she's a smart, forward-thinking woman who has protected herself for 30 years.
Yeah.
And if not for Roman's fuck up, she was interim CEO.
Yeah, she was.
Like, she actually made it there. And, I know we have to do all these machinations, but that could not have been easy. Considering, Loki, whenever it's time to take him down, she's always like, yeah, but she will never let herself get burned. So I appreciate Gerri looking out for herself. Also, it was really sweet that throughout season 3, she kept pushing for Roman in little ways. She's like, oh, why don't you let Roman do this? Or, so it was really nice. Frank, I don't understand what Frank is doing here. Frank seems genuinely too good to be here. Like, I don't understand. Like, Gerri I love, but Gerri I think has questionable beliefs. I don't know if Frank is being held hostage. Because in season 3, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go back to New York. And Logan's like, no, you're staying with me. I don't trust you. Like, and he just didn't let him leave. Overall, show is a blast. It's definitely a dramedy. It's the whole King Lear, they want to take over from their dad thing. But some episodes are too funny for me to even put into words. Yeah. Like, everything with Roman sending his dick to his dad, a hog on the floor. What else made me laugh? And I was like, wow, these people are actually insane. Greg. Yeah.
Greg just being Greg is hilarious.
No, the show is fully jokes. And I'm sad that this is going to be the final season, but I'm hoping they hit it out of the park. Yeah. The kids are working together, which I'm really excited about. You don't think it's gonna last?
No.
Oh no.
No, I don't think so, because like everyone wants to be on top. And like, you can argue that, okay, Connor is out, and maybe Roman is like, maybe I don't really want to do this, but Shiv and Kendall are gonna butt heads.
They're gonna butt heads, but I think they're still gonna be against Logan. I don't think anyone's going back to Logan's side.
Roman might.
I don't think Roman will. I think when he was like, the fact that he even said love when his dad said, what did you bring for me? I think him being vulnerable in that way, and his dad he even begged Gerri. He was like, Gerri, please. And Gerri was like, how does this help me? I think Roman is, and like, I think it's not just Logan, but the fact that their mom fucked them over too, that their mom was like, yeah, I sold the shares to your dad.
Yeah.
I think that for them is just that they don't have anyone but each
right
other.
after that, like, vote of no confidence in season 1, I don't trust Roman with shit.
It said Romulus.
Quote me when the season 4, like, I would be happy to be wrong. Quote me, Roman would be the one.
I really don't want him to, and it's frustrating to me because I love the moments when they act like siblings. So, you know, at Shiv's wedding when they were smoking on the boat together and they were just, I'm like, look at you guys, you grew up together, you love each other, be nice to each other.
Like when like Kendall was really like down bad and he attempted suicide, and like they all like rallied, you know, like to him.
I mean, they were still mocking him, but in their own way. Like, or even when he confessed like he killed the waiter, and then they were like kind of like, it's okay, you know, it's not that bad. I want them. I just don't think Shiv is gonna forgive the fact that Tom has betrayed her for her dad.
Oh, she's not. I saw the look on her face.
Shiv might commit murder, and I'm on her side. I think that them working together is what I wanted from the first season. I still think Kendall should be the one who takes over. But if it's him and Shiv, if it's Shiv, like, it can't be Shiv. They've made it very clear that her being not part of the company has been a detriment. But my hope is that the show ends with potentially Logan's death, but even better, Logan is alive and the kids have successfully taken the company for him. Yeah. I don't know if that's possible though, because technically the sale has gone through to Gojo. So I don't know, maybe they can stop it from happening. Maybe they'll try to do a legal thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But I want the kids to win. I think the least that they deserve after being raised by the worst family ever is being able to work together.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's seasons 1 to 3. There was a lot of, oh, I'm taking the company from you. Oh, we're working behind your back. Oh, the lawyers, $1 billion. That's basically the whole show.
Yeah. So, you know, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you watch the next one as well. We are going to definitely speak about season 4 once it's over. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.